Wild is, I mean, at this point of the first pick, we knew they're holding on to the second pick longer than the first one.
Hey, man.
Trying to get that Drummond trade. I'm telling you.
That's right.
Listen.
The language.
I
Got to
don't
get the
think
language
it's-
right in there. All right. What are you doing? All right, Derek, who's your guess? Without knowing anything, who's your guess?
I think it's Broome.
Don't you lie to me like that.
I think it's Broome.
Wow.
Call VG. Get him on the show.
Yeah, VG will be happy about that one.
I knew this would happen. I knew it.
Broome.
Kyle.
All right.
Kyle.
All right.
That's an interesting one. It
With Reyno sitting there. Different type of
Reyno
big.
sitting there.
Different big.
Yeah.
I'm just talking bigs. I mean,
Thoreau was sitting there. Like, yeah. So the thing that I think is tough to wrap your brain around with this one, other than he's super old, is that it doesn't really fit with what they've been selling for. Like, here's what this summer looks like, right? We're getting younger. We're getting more athletic. We're doing this, and we're not so much focused on the right now. Like, really, the justification for taking Broome is more of you're hoping that he comes in right away and can translate the rebounding, translate some of the stuff in the front court. Maybe you say you buy the shot. Maybe.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
I personally don't, but there are some people
right.
that said, hey, he made some progress this year. Like, I guess if you're trying to
It's a super set shot that he takes.
Yeah.
And
Slow.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's part of my issue because
the
as physical as he is too, again, I bring up the free throws because we saw it every time we were watching the game, and I'm like, all right, here you go, 2 minutes in the clock, and they're gonna start fouling. You know he's either gonna split them or miss both. It's not make both. And that was a problem for me. Just being clear, that was a problem for me.
Yeah. And look, he can protect the rim, but he's, to me, pretty slow-footed.
Yes.
Like, I really worry about his translation on both sides of the court. Great rebounder. Tough, strong. He's going to compete. I'm just not sure he has the foot speed. I don't trust the perimeter shot. I certainly have my concerns.
So how does he get on the floor? Here, like what kind of lineup do you put on the floor where you maximize what he brings without hurting yourselves because of the weaknesses or the deficiencies he has in his game at this point? Given what they have right now.
Clearly, if they're banking on the rebounding, not just on the defensive side, he can run too. So I'll give him that. He's not slow-footed at all. He can run. If they're banking on the fact that the rebounding part of this is going to be, you're also looking at the offensive rebounds. And with the offensive rebounds, that now when you say adding players around him on the floor, where are those shooters? You get the ball, and yes, you can take it right back up, but you find that man and reset the offense. You find that open man around the perimeter and give yourself a shot with that 14 seconds that you just created with that offensive board. That's something where you're going to have at least 2 to 3 shooters on the floor at all times with him at that. Now, as far as he's at the 5, at the 4, you're going to need someone like Paul George out there with him. Maybe you can run a little big man kind of pick and roll with him as well because his hands are good.
Yeah.
So if he can secure it, he's very fundamental. And
like great ball screen guy. He will
100%.
make contact, and he's going to help your guards get separation.
Receive that
when
on
we
the
look
roll.
at like VJ and McCain and Maxey.
And the problems that we
giving
talked
them a
about
runway.
with Bona not having the good hands, his hands are good. So when you have that, and if that is in play, he can finish at the rim. We do know that. The problem is when you get there, he gets fouled. He's going to get to the free throw line, and he's probably going to shoot 59, 62%.
Yeah, that'll be a problem.
At the line, and that'll be a problem. But those are the type of players I would have. Shooters and just a bunch of guys who can handle the basketball while out there.
So I would add, once again, I think to some degree, this is also a culture player, right? Like, this is a guy who's really well known as a super intense competitor, like came from a smaller program for his first couple years, makes the jump to the SEC, is just a real grind it out, get in your jersey, just outwork people type of player. Now,
and played in a winning program.
He did. Like, they were a constantly very, very good elite team while he was there. And I can't sit here on every show and be like, boy, they don't have any passers. And then they add a guy who's both a rebounder and a passer and turn your nose up at it. I'm just interested to see what their kind of vision for him is, right? Because a 6'9" center who was a very good defender at the college level, but you have to figure out, how does that translate, right? He is not an explosive athlete. No. He's someone that is more of a below the rim guy. And so how do you structure the lineup, especially as we're talking about adding a guy like Renaud, like a shooting big man? All the bigs outside of Joel Embiid are non-shooters, right? Andre Drummond definitely is. Adem Bona, while he's working on a lot of stuff, right now definitely is. Broome is not yet a shooter. Again, we talked about, showed a little bit of progress, and there's Thoreau to Brooklyn, one pick later.
No point guard.
He'll get some shots.
He'll get some shots.
He'll definitely be cutting off all their passers there. So look, it is not the direction I would have went, but I'm interested to see what Daryl in the front office say in terms of
I am too. So
how he's going to be used.
To be fair to the pick, as I said, the things about good hands, good motor, winning program, can finish at the rim, very physical, and the rebounding. So that's five to six things right there that he does very well. Older player, so probably doesn't have to come in and sit and learn too long where he can give you those. If you go in a different center position, Adem Bona is one way. He's the more athletic one. High leaper, can get to the rim that way. Where he's more of the below the rim player, where you're also looking at that passing, having those dribble handoffs that we talk about, the screen game of just the rolling. I am very curious to see how they do it, how they put it together. When you look at the roster, because of the fact that they don't have a traditional four, they have more of those stretch fours, Paul George and some of these other names that we'll throw out there.
Watching these Theroux highlights
they had to put this up, didn't they?
It is such a contrast too. We're talking like
big time.
It's not this. I have no idea which one of these guys will have a better career, and Theroux has some real pitfalls. But going from the below the rim toughness rebounding guy to holy shit, look at this guy flying all over the floor is just a real,
you get to see
real contrast.
4 times a year now with the Brooklyn Nets.
Yes, so we will.
See him that
and
way.
They are going to lose all four of those games next year.
No doubt.
Brooklyn is going to stank.
So as much as I don't love the pick, of course I'm willing to, I want to see how, this is where the fun part of, I don't know, so I want to see how they do it.
No, I mean, and he's going to be an easy guy to root for because he's going to play really
well.
100%.
He's going to have,
I think, a lot of
crowd on his side. Yeah.
I'm not sure he's going to be, like, I don't think you can put him, I don't trust his shot nearly enough to put him next to a
like at a 4.
Man. Yeah. Like either Bona or even Embiid.
So if you had to guess, what do you think their rationale is for it? Like, let's not even say how he's going to play in the pros, but just like, is it a character play? Is it did he do well in the analytical models? Like what?
I think that is absolutely true, right?
True.
Because he put up 19 and 11, over 2 blocks a game, shot 51% from the field, 3 assists a game, and has an almost 2-to-1 assist turnover ratio. I think this could be as simple as like, this is a stats model king.
Now, most stats models should adjust for age and experience. But he was hyper productive earlier in his career too. Granted, a different conference, but still hyper productive. I just think, like most people I talk to, are really concerned how much of that's actually going to translate.
Yeah, but again, like, so here's what I would say: if you're going to make the optimist case on this pick, sometimes it's just as simple as he was really damn good.
He was good.
Like he has been ultra productive every single year of his career on 2 different teams. Last year was basically a unanimous across the board All-American. Every team that he could be put on, All-Star, All-American, whatever. All college basketball. We could just start making stuff up. Do the old sporting news.
I like all college basketball.
Whatever the list is, he was on it, right? Because and all the questions are not, was this guy good in college? How does his game work at the next level?
Yes.
And when he is not as much of because he won't be a featured guy. He'll be someone who's coming in and you expect him to be more of like a dirty work player.